here outside the LA Memorial Sports Arena, where we've just seen Sony's major E3 press conference. The thing everyone was expecting was a massive mea culpa for the PlayStation Network outage, and that came straight away from Jack Tretton. He actually apologised without saying sorry though. He said, "I want to apologise," which was an interesting phrase. Anyway, he promised that the network will be more secure from now on.
Wow, what a crowd. This isn't the first time that I've come to the stage at an E3 press conference with an elephant in the room. And of course I'm referring to the PlayStation Network outage. And this is the first opportunity for me to personally address everybody and discuss it a little bit. So my friends who are reporters tell me that there's absolutely nothing in the world that makes their editor's day like controversy and bad news. So to all our esteemed members of the press, I say, you're welcome. To our third-party publishing partners, you guys have been with us for over 15 years, making tremendous games, and I know the network outage was costly to you. And what's been incredibly inspiring is your support and your offers to help get things back up to speed, and we wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for you, so I thank you very much. To our retail partners, you gave us shelf space when there was no PlayStation brand, and you've given us more than our fair share since 1995 when we launched the original PlayStation. And after just having the best year since PlayStation 3 launched, we're seeing sales of PlayStation 3 exceeding last year's lofty numbers throughout the PlayStation launch. In fact, last week's numbers alone were up 27% over the prior year. Which brings me to the audience that I'm most interested in addressing, and those are our consumers. You are the lifeblood of the company. Without you, there is no PlayStation. And I want to apologize both personally and on behalf of the company for any anxiety that we've caused you. I know we took you away from doing what you enjoy most, connecting and gaming with friends all over the world and enjoying the many entertainment options on the PlayStation Network. And it is you that both causes us to be humble and amazed at the amount of dedication and support you continue to give to the PlayStation brand. Network activity is currently at over 90% of the original levels before the network outage. And that is something we absolutely do not take lightly. We are committed more than ever to making sure that the PlayStation Network experience is both entertaining and secure for everybody.
And then we dived straight into the major franchise that is Uncharted. Looks great. We saw some in-game footage and a trailer. In-game footage looks excellent. Really good use of light and shadows. We saw Drake on a ship wandering around, melee killing some dudes, a bit of swimming going on. Yeah, so that game looks really excellent.
We're raising the bar for ourselves yet again. It's a huge E3 for us this year, with a ton of single-player and multiplayer content to show. And we want to start things off with this demo. This is Uncharted 3 First Session.
After the gameplay footage, we then saw a 3D trailer. When we walked into the sports arena, we were all given these trendy 3D glasses, which I'm no doubt going to wear out on the town tonight. And it would be the first of many 3D things we would see. The 3D effect was pretty mild, but it looked okay. And I'd say on a 3D TV, it's going to be sweet. So yeah, Uncharted is looking great. Okay, so straight after Uncharted, we went into Resistance 3, taking place 4 years after the second Resistance title, where mankind was basically destroyed by the Chimera. What we saw was some in-game footage, and it was all in 3D. The 3D effect here looked better than it did in Uncharted, to be honest. It was a bit more pronounced, in my opinion, and things like raindrops in the foreground and things like that looked really nice. A few cool-looking bosses as well, so that's a first-person shooter to watch.
Jump ahead just a little bit here. The ambush has gone bad. The player has to pick up the power core and run for their lives.
Then Jack Tritton was back on stage pimping a sharpshooter bundle, which is a sharpshooter gun which comes with Move controllers and Resistance 3. We never actually saw them play Resistance 3 with the Move controllers though. Next up was the announcement of a few remastered games for the PlayStation 3. Both God of War titles for the PSP, so that's Ghosts of Sparta and Chains of Olympus, have been remastered for the PlayStation 3. So has Shadow of the Colossus and Ico.
Both the God of War Origins collection and the Eco and Shadow of the Colossus collection will be launching this September and be fully playable in 3D.
Then came what I thought was one of the bigger announcements of the entire conference, and that was the PlayStation 3D TV.
PlayStation is the ultimate solution for 3D. But content has just been one of the barriers for consumers when it comes to 3D adoption. The other is price. We're going to break the mold on pricing for 3D this year and make the entrance into 3D more affordable than ever for everyone. I'm happy to announce today that there will be 2 new 3D hardware products available in the PlayStation portfolio. To start with, we're introducing a PlayStation branded 3D display. This is a 24-inch display developed specifically to provide consumers with affordable access to best-in-class 3D entertainment. It's perfect for dorm rooms, family rooms, and bedrooms. Consumers can enjoy their favorite TV shows, movies, and games in high definition or in stunning 3D. It also comes with a truly unique technology that allows 2 people playing a game to see individual, unique full screen images rather than a split screen image. It's like having two separate TVs in one. It's great for two-player mode, either head-to-head or co-op game. So you're not faced with splitting the screen in half with other players. Now, in addition, the market has been calling for a less expensive pair of 3D glasses. We're addressing that concern with the second peripheral we're announcing today. This fall, we'll be offering a great opportunity for current 3D TV owners to add an affordable pair of active 3D glasses that will work with a variety of 3D TVs and displays. The PlayStation 3D monitor will be available this fall and will be bundled with a pair of PlayStation 3D glasses, a 6-foot HDMI cable, and one of this year's marquee PS3 titles, Resistance 3. The glasses, the 3D game, and the HDMI cable represent more than $150 in value, and I'm happy to announce that the full 3D monitor bundle will be available for $499. Additional pairs of the PlayStation 3D glasses will retail for $69.99. These are incredible products and values that will lower the price barrier and drive 3D adoption.
Next up, we saw NBA 2012, played on stage live by none other than Kobe Bryant of the Los Angeles Lakers. The big hook this year being that you can play it with the Move controller, but in my opinion, this looked pretty awkward. And this showed Kobe in his first position had the ball stripped from him, and in his second position ran out of bounds.
Which team were you?
I'm the Heat, man. What do you think?
I do not understand. That's rude. They're having a great year, okay?
All right.
But this is the Lake Show's house. Give me the remote, man. We'll show you.
What can you do?
Now the hook with the Move controller is that on defense, you just point towards whoever you want to control, and you can either block a shot or strip the ball using the buttons. On offense, you point to who you want to pass to, and again the buttons shoot or pass. But to me it looked awkward, and it looked like a simplified version of the actual game. I'm not sure how it's going to pan out, but again, Kobe seemed to struggle, and he's a good basketball player, so we'll see how that one goes.
Here's Chalmers. Right around, 3 minutes left in the first quarter.
You know what, man? This game looks a little too real. This is crazy.
Watches for 3.
That's not realistic at all. I mean, everything I just said, that's just not realistic. I don't know why y'all laughing. That's not funny.
He's covered by Bosch.
Come on, shoot the ball, defense.
18 feet away.
How's it look, man?
All jokes aside, this so realistic, it's frightening. You know, it's when I got, I went in the back and I was playing a little bit, kind of looking at the game and so forth. And we're actually running the triangle offense better than we ran the triangle offense last year. So that's saying a lot, man. That's saying a lot. So my hats off to you, kudos to you, man.
Thank you.
You got it, dude.
I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, Kobe Bryant.
Medieval Moves Dead Man's Chest was next, and this is a third-person platformer / shooter, again with Move control, and it had all this sort of business. So to shoot arrows, you're reaching for a quiver behind you, you're waving your sword around like this, your shield, and shurikens, throwing shurikens as well. The game looks really cartoony, looks like it could be a bit of fun, and the player goes transparent so you can see the full screen in some parts rather than having him in the way. Looks like a few puzzles in there as well. Could be an okay title.
And no weapon selection screens to initiate. It all depends on the motions he performs. These throwing stars might not seem as accurate or as powerful as your bow, but what they lack in power, they certainly make up for in speed. At this point, he realistically reaches back into his quiver to grab an arrow and he knocks the arrow. Then he can take out some unfriendly skeletons with pinpoint accuracy. At other times, you want to take the fight straight to the enemy, up close and personal. Your sword and shield are the perfect tool for that. Between high-action combat, you'll find a variety of motion mechanics like the one used to unlock this door. Push your controller to line up each of the 3 slots and gain entry. Once inside, you can stock up on some hidden extras inside these barrels and crates. After you've filled up on extras, let's see which area it's been, okay. After you've filled up, you grab this lever, pulling it down, revealing the ladder to a secret path. As you can see, everything in Medieval Moves is all about one-to-one motion control. What you see is what you get. If Jeremy performs the action, that's what you get in the game. With the skeleton horde chasing us up this ladder, we can try to take them out one at a time when we get to the top. Or maybe Jeremy will find something else we can do here. Nice shot, Jeremy. We cut that rope, closing the hatch to prevent these guys from chasing us. Here, Jeremy used the bow and arrows to blow up an explosive barrel. He's throwing stars, and again, there's no inventory system. He goes from one weapon to the next with the motions he performs. Medieval Moves offers a lot of player choice. In this case, a secret path is revealed after shooting those explosive barrels. There are many branching paths found in Medieval Moves. Using our grappling hook, we can head outside through the secret path, or we can go inside the tower. Let's go up for now, but I encourage you to see the surprise waiting for you on the other path at the booth. Now this is interesting. Looks like we have some kind of puzzle here. Wow, 2 rotating gears blocking our path. What's he going to try? Okay, that didn't seem to work. Let's see if he can time this just right. Let's see if he... Perfect, there's our path. Great job, Jeremy. Well, uh-oh. A brute. What are we going to do about this guy? This guy's a lot tougher than the grunts that we've come up against before. Great job, Jeremy. Oh, great. More gears. And this time, flames blocking the path. What are you going to try?
Although we didn't see anyone playing it, we did see in-game footage and a trailer for Infamous 2, which is released here in the US tomorrow. Fans of the first game will be happy to know that it looks really good. Graphics have obviously been updated. A lot of the same special moves are there, but some extra ones as well. Same amount of carnage, lots of huge bosses. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to playing that game.
I guess it's time I go introduce myself. Hello, baby. As God is my witness, we shall hunt them down and destroy them all! Oh, it's time to go!
popular franchises, Little Big Planet. Starting in September, we'll add a much deeper PlayStation Move functionality to Little Big Planet 2, with the ability to create your own levels with and for PlayStation Move. With this update, along with the support of the dedicated community, it won't be long until fans will have millions of new PlayStation Move-based games to play. Titles and unique experiences like Little Big Planet have been a trademark of what sets PlayStation apart. Our goal has always been to provide that unique content that you can't get anywhere else.
Next up, we saw a game called Starhawk, a new IP, whose tagline is "Welcome to the New Frontier." As that suggests, it looked kind of like a Western-themed space shooter. It could be a third-person or first-person. We don't know. We only saw cinematics. It looked quite nice. It was kind of a black cowboy and a Master Chief-looking Marine fighting on kind of a dusty red planet. Vehicles featured heavily. There was all kinds of things like hoverbikes and giant spacecraft. And then it hinted that it might expand into space as well, so there's probably some space levels going on there.
We came to this place to stake our claim. Driven by hope and tempted by greed. Every day is a fight to survive. With the difference between defeat and victory. Hunter and hunted. Can change in a heartbeat. Because let's face it, the universe is a brutal place. Welcome to the new frontier.
Next up, we saw a trailer for the reboot of Sly Cooper, whose subtitle was Thieves in Time. Looks very cartoony, lots of exaggeration, but again, we saw no in-game footage, so we're not sure what to expect there.
Cheesy macaronis. Sly Cooper, you got Dimitri!
Billy, this is the last time we ever leave Dimitri in charge of the hideout.
It was also the first time.
Dust 514 was next, and it's what they were touting as a true cross-platform game. It's going to be available on the upcoming NGP as well as the PlayStation 3, and it's actually going to slot into the EVE Online universe, so those two games are going to interact with each other somehow. It looked like it went from first-person shooter on a planet to a full-scale, space-wide MMO. It looks cool and it's a great idea. I know it's been tried before, we'll see if they can pull it off smoothly this time, but I've got high hopes for that one.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Hilmar. I come from Iceland, a place known for spewing volcanic dust impacting your transatlantic flight. I'm here to talk about a different type of dust release. Together with Sony, CCP is proud to announce Dust 514 as a PlayStation 3 exclusive.
Dust is a persistent shooter focused on ground combat and planetary conquest. And if that wasn't enough, we're doing something which has never been attempted before. We're taking a console shooter and connecting it directly to a PC MMO. Together, Dust and EVE Online will combine to create one vibrant universe, sharing the same single shared supercomputer. Not just a PlayStation 3 game, Dust will feature support for the Move motion controller, a dedicated home space, and finally we're extending the experience to the MGP. So, how about I just show you what we will be doing next summer. This is one universe, one war. Take it.
Ken Levine took the stage next and talked us through a BioShock Infinite trailer, which basically featured Elizabeth begging you not to leave her alone and you defending her. It looks great, and it's going to feature move support. Levine mentioned that he wasn't sold on the whole idea until it was pitched to him as a way for more casual gamers to get into his game, so it's a bit simpler and less daunting than having so many buttons. We'll see how that works out. Like everything else, move support could work out okay, but the game itself looks great.
Promise me.
I will stop him.
That is an oath you cannot keep. But promise me that if it comes to it, you will not let him take him back.
Okay. I was on the wrong stage. So I'm Ken Levine. I'm the creative director of Irrational Games, and you know, we've been doing a lot of press for BioShock Infinite recently, and I did an interview a few months ago, and I kind of tend to speak my mind in interviews, and in this interview, let's just say I expressed some skepticism about the very concept of motion control. And I may have said a few uncharitable things about the PlayStation Move. So, you know, days later, a coworker tells me there's somebody who wants to have a phone meeting with me about the interview. I'm like, oh, okay, who is it? I said Sony. And, you know, I was like, oh, great, I really want to have this conversation. And, you know, I took the meeting, and I expected, you know, a lot of like gnashing of teeth and nervousness, and instead what they said is, they said, Ken, look, we want to make you a believer. And I was like, look, dude, Irrational, you know, we don't do like, you know, that, you know, that's not our thing, you know, we don't do that, you know, we don't do that, you know, we do this, you know, we do core games, you know, DualShock stuff. And then they said something that struck a chord with me. They said, you know, we're not talking about this or that. What we're talking about is removing this barrier of entry that people who love your story and love your worlds, who love the idea of BioShock, but they just can't get their head around this. What if they could play your game? What would you wager if you could get those people on board to try your game as well as your core audience without sacrificing anything? And I said, look, I tell you what I won't wager is I won't wager these people. And they said, you don't have to. So, you know, they sent us a PlayStation Move, and the first thing we noticed is that the damn thing kind of looks like a DualShock. You know, it's got all the cool buttons and everything. And we started playing around with it, and once we got past that initial anxiety that our game would translate well, we started seeing other opportunities, other ways to interact with the world, with Elizabeth, you know, with the skyline, how you can move around in that space. But I don't have a ton of time for discussing those things, and we're going to talk about that another day, and we're just getting rolling. But we're going to have PlayStation Move on the BioShock Infinite, and the exciting part is we're just starting to get our head around what that could mean. And before I go, you know, there's another game we've been thinking about for a long time. It's a bit of a pet project of Irrational's, and it's set in the BioShock universe. And this has been kicking around for a few years now. And it's very early days, and the design is still evolving. But recently, we found the right home for it. It's on this guy. On the MVP. And so this is going to be interesting too. Listen, thanks everyone, and we hope we see a lot of you at the booth to check out BioShock Infinite. And if not, you can check it out online. Thanks a lot, guys.
Next up, we had the announcement of a lot of exclusives for the PlayStation. The first of all being an exclusive weapon on Saints Row. We saw none of that game, however.
In Saints Row the Third. It will include an exclusive game mode and game content only on the PS3. This exclusive game mode will have players utilizing the unique weapon of Saints Row as you take on Steelport's most colorful enemies. It's a completely over-the-top experience that Saints Row fans will love, and it launches in North America on November 15th.
Then it was on to Star Trek. Apparently the PlayStation is going to get an exclusive prequel game available on the PlayStation Network. The Star Trek game proper looks really good. What we saw, it looks like you might be able to play as Spock in some parts, and it had kind of a Mass Effect / Dead Space feel to it, but we'll actually have to see if they follow through and make it as good as those two games.
Authenticity of the Star Trek brand and be fully compatible with PlayStation Move. Paramount will also release a Move peripheral cloned after the phaser made famous by Star Trek. Good Trekkies out there yesterday. They realize that the PlayStation experience is second to none, so they're also going to offer a playable prequel to the full game in the form of a digital-only title available exclusively on the PlayStation Network. Both of these titles from Paramount will be PlayStation Move enabled and playable in 3D. Let's take a look at some early footage. that has excelled at creating amazing PlayStation experiences year after year is Electronic Arts.
After that one was Need for Speed, The Run. PlayStation is getting 7 additional supercars. And Battlefield 3, the extra storage on the Blu-ray, they're going to take advantage of by putting Battlefield 1943 on there as well. So you get that when you get Battlefield 3.
PlayStation will return this year with SSX. And for the PlayStation 3 only, EA has created a death-defying race down Japan's iconic Mount Fuji. This exclusive level features 10 unique drop points and is rendered from a recreation of Mount Fuji taken directly from NASA's satellite data, and only PlayStation 3 owners will get to experience it. Next up is Need for Speed The Run. EA's amazing cross-country race that features dozens of incredible vehicles, including 8 of the world's hottest supercars. Feedback from gamers who love this franchise confirmed that these supercars are what makes Need for Speed so exciting. And with that, PS3 owners are going to get a special Blu-ray disc with 7 additional supercars, including the Super Sport, the Hennessy Venom GT, and the Bugatti Veyron, only on PS3. And then finally this fall, EA will be releasing their jaw-dropping shooter, Battlefield 3. The PlayStation 3 version of this blockbuster will be bigger than any other. EA is using the extra storage capacity of Blu-ray to add a second game, Battlefield 1943, to the disc. That gives PlayStation owners one of the most exciting games of the year, bundled free with one of the most popular games offered on the PlayStation.
After all the exclusives, we then had a decent look at the NGP, which from here on will be known as the PlayStation Vita. That's the official title. Vita meaning life or some such thing. It's looking, thank you Frank, it's looking pretty good. Dual analog sticks, touch screen on the front and back, cameras on the front and back. We saw a number of games for it as well. And the touchscreens supported swipe functions as well as just solid touch. And it had a little slide-out panel, and we couldn't quite see what was on that, but it looked to me like speakers or some such thing. The sound on it was really good. When they played games, they just had a camera over the guy's shoulder, and the sound came through really nicely. It was surprisingly ballsy for such a small device. And a number of the games looked really exciting, so I'm psyched about that. I wasn't excited at all about the PSP1 rather, but this one looks like it could do what the PSP1 didn't.
Thank you, Jack. How about that tie he's wearing? Round of applause. I see anybody from Sony Computer Entertainment actually on stage wearing a tie. First time. I'm still not going there, but Jack made the point. So anyway, good to see you all again. 6 years ago, we came here to E3 and announced a new 10-year vision for home entertainment. And we said that we would build an ecosystem of content and network services that match our incredible heritage. And the world of network entertainment has undergone a significant change since we launched PlayStation Network. And we can, of course, attest to the importance of having that connected experience across all our products. Devices that are connected to content and, of course, connected to each other. And we learned a lot during the recent outage of the PlayStation Network. And one of the most important things we learned was about the trust and the loyalty of our consumers. And we have been overwhelmed by the support from our fans who recognize the value of a connected experience, and we thank you for that. We know that the network experience is not only critical for home entertainment, but it's equally important for mobile entertainment as well. And we ushered in a lot of that adoption for portable entertainment back in 2004 when we introduced the original PlayStation Portable. And at the time, cell phones were unable to deliver the deeper, richer gaming experiences. But after 6 years, these multifunction devices are ready for PlayStation-like experiences. So the question is, how do we deliver a PlayStation-level experience to a wider audience? And the answer is what we're calling PlayStation Suite. PlayStation Suite will make PlayStation content available on something other than PlayStation hardware, starting with PlayStation-certified Android smartphones and tablets. This isn't just the PlayStation install base that will experience our products in a totally new way. It's a whole world that will experience our products through PlayStation Suite. And we will have more information on PlayStation Suite in the very near future, but we're confident that once new customers get a taste of PlayStation content from their certified devices, it's only a matter of time before many of them come knocking on the door of PlayStation 3 and, of course, our next generation portable. And now, as I mentioned, absolutely central to the evolution of the digital living room of content and entertainment following you anywhere and everywhere is the PlayStation Portable. It's been a home console-like gaming experience in the palm of your hands, and we continue to have very high expectations for PSP in the years to come. And with that in mind, we've created our next generation portable to be one that breaks traditional boundaries of entertainment with new ways to control the device, new ways to interact with your world, and new ways to interact with your friends, and of course with your entertainment. This product introduces elements like a dual touchpad, an OLED screen, and dual cameras that provide an augmented reality experience to allow you to play with every aspect of your real life. And connecting with your everyday life and the world around you is a critical component to the development and the DNA of this product. So I'm very proud to showcase for the first time in North America the successor to the PlayStation Portable. What you've come to know as NGP, our next generation portable, is officially named PlayStation Vita. So, what does Vita mean? Vita means life, and we're confident that PlayStation Vita will be the first product that truly blurs those lines between entertainment and your real life, empowering you to play, interact, and connect like never before. The features alone are cutting edge. 2 analog sticks that give you dual shock-like control of games, a stunning multi-touch 5-inch OLED screen, front and rear touchpads, 6-axis motion sensing technology, and of course my favorite feature, front and rear cameras allowing for augmented reality experiences never before seen, completely blurring the lines between reality and interactive entertainment. PlayStation Vita will have both Wi-Fi and 3G Wi-Fi models for on-the-go entertainment. This will allow for everything from social networking to location-based gaming that help you find and meet friends for brand new experiences. Now, of course, having such an impressive set of network features and ambitions requires the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. And we'll be partnering with AT&T as the exclusive carrier for PlayStation Vita in the United States. Now, customers with an AT&T service plan will also have free access to more than 24,000 AT&T Wi-Fi hotspots nationwide. And together, we'll deliver breakthrough entertainment experiences that bring you closer to your entertainment and, of course, closer to others. And more information, including pricing and the carriers for the other territories, will be announced soon. With a feature we're calling Party, users in the same game room on PlayStation Vita can voice chat live over headsets or the built-in microphone, no matter where they are or what game they're playing. And it's a perfect way to stay in touch with your friends and chat during gameplay from wherever you might be. Another critical step forward is a social connection tool for PlayStation Vita that we're calling Near. Near allows you to connect and play with others around you, recommend content to them, compare trophies, and a variety of other social connection tools for the PlayStation Network. Both Party and Near will power the connected experience for PlayStation Vita, and we'll be unveiling more specifics on them in the very near future. social networking and community elements are a critical component for PlayStation Vita. This is the best proof that with PlayStation Vita, our content experiences and network, the world is in play. Now to showcase some of the gaming experiences and new ways to play, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Senior Vice President for Worldwide Studios North America, Scott Rohde.
Thanks, Cost. I know I'm speaking for everyone at SCE Worldwide Studios when I say that we've been truly inspired working on PlayStation Vita. We believe this device will change how people think about portable gaming, but you don't have to take our word for it. When you see these demos and play some of the content after the show, you will see firsthand that the advanced technology packed into the PlayStation Vita will deliver gameplay experiences never before seen on any handheld. Sony Bend is no stranger to creating great portable games. Their work on the Siphon Filter and Resistance Retribution franchises on PSP was highly regarded. Today, we're going to show you a brief demo of Uncharted Golden Abyss. So please welcome John Garvin and Chris Reese.
Thanks, Scott. When John and I first started working on PlayStation Vita over 2 years ago, and got our first glimpse of what it could do, we became excited at the possibilities it offered for creating an all-new Uncharted experience. So today we'd like to run through a short section of one level to show you why.
Temple of Servants. It's gotta be it. How the hell do I get up there?
So, as you saw from the Uncharted 3 demo, the bar for production values in an Uncharted game is incredibly high. Everyone knows who Nathan Drake is, how he looks, moves, and sounds. PlayStation Vita had to have the memory and processing power, not just to allow us to get Drake right, but the environments as well. As you can see, PlayStation Vita enables us to use advanced rendering techniques like water shaders and dynamic lighting for casting real-time shadows. But we also knew that gameplay was going to be just as important as the visuals. And the PlayStation Vita allowed us to tailor important aspects of Uncharted gameplay for the new platform. For example, Chris is going to alert this enemy deliberately, so we can show off how our touch melee system works. Here, instead of using the square button for combat, the entire screen becomes a virtual button. You can just tap the fist icon, or you can touch the enemy directly to take him out. For traversal, we allow players to use traditional controls or touch. Here you can see that Chris is having Drake climb the wall by just using the sticks and buttons. We wanted to make sure that fans of Uncharted could simply pick up the game and play it using controls they were used to. But in places where it made sense, we've incorporated PlayStation Vita controls. So here Chris is using the 6-axis to tilt in the direction he wants Drake to jump. The great thing is, you're not The great thing is you're not locked into one set of controls or the other. You can tap, use the buttons and sticks, or combine the two. We kind of have a motto, play the way you want. Here's another example. While dangling from these ruins, Chris can either use the stick to swing, or simply drag his finger across, and Drake will follow. To get across this chasm, same idea. Chris can have Drake jump action style by running and pressing the X button, or he can tap on the ledge and Drake performs a cinematic leap. So while we definitely allow you to play the game the way you want, while developing the game, we began to discover that there were things you could do with the PlayStation Vita that you just couldn't do on a regular console. Along these walls, Chris is using a technique we call painting edges. You just draw your finger across a series of stones and ledges, highlighting the route you want Drake to climb. You're now guiding Drake in a unique and interesting way. Of course, while tapping edges to climb is fun, tapping an enemy to perform a stealth takedown is more fun. For core combat, we return to the controls that make Uncharted so much fun, starting with 2 dual analog sticks. We brought over all of Greg's combat controls, snapping and shooting from cover, over the shoulder aiming, blind fire, and so on. All right, let me shut up for a second and let Chris play through this. We use touch controls to enhance the core combat. So for example, to reload, Chris can just tap the weapon icon, or to pick up a new weapon, he can either tap on its icon or the weapon itself. And now he's got a shotgun. Nice job. Okay, that's our demo. To wrap up, our goal wasn't just to create an authentic Uncharted game, but to create an Uncharted game unique to the PlayStation Vita. We have a lot more to show. We have brought 2 demos with us back in the arcade area, so please stop by and check them both. We've got a lot of features we didn't have time to show you, like where we're using rear touch and everything else on the PlayStation Vita, so stop by and check it out. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris and John. It looks amazing. Early in our planning stages of PlayStation Vita, our global worldwide studios group identified the opportunity to create what we are calling a social action RPG that will not only get RPG and action fans excited, but that is also directly compatible with PS3. This game is called Ruin. Please welcome Jeff Litchford from Idle Minds and Travis Williams from Sony San Diego.
Hi everyone. As Scott said, Ruin is an action-based role-playing game. Our goal with Ruin was to provide the PlayStation Vita players with everything they would expect from an action role-playing game, including multiple character classes, deep advancement, tons of loot, and a lot of experiences that you might not associate with your typical RPGs. So to do this, we started with combat. So, take it away, Jeff. So to make combat more impactful, we created a dynamic battlefield. So Jeff is playing our Infernal Warrior right now, and as you can see, he's really not about a whole lot of defense, he's all about attacking. So the player attacks through a series of combos. These are very action-oriented sequences and test your reflexes. So you won't be actually pushing, like an X button and wait for some attacks. These creatures are seriously smashed and battered by some bone-crunching impacts. The player's powerful abilities, they destroy monsters and the environments alike. So it's really an engaging experience on the PlayStation Vita. How you doing? So next we wanted to forge a competitive connection between the players. So in Ruin, other players are your rivals. A stranger that you've never even met can become your rival. And through your actions, you can help, hinder, or even harm them. And now this is all posted, through the PlayStation Network and social networks like Twitter and Facebook. And also our community site. Where are you going? So for example, here we are currently attacking the lair of one of our rivals. Now this level is indicative of what a rival's lair could look like. Throughout the game, our rival has been building his lair. His choices change the dungeon we have to fight to reach it. As he grows in power, so does his lair and the difficulty of the dungeon that actually protects it. And as Kaz said earlier, the ability to be constantly connected is a critical differentiator for the PlayStation Vita, and especially in Ruin. Events happen in real time. Your ability to quickly react to attacks against your layer are going to reward you with more loot and more experience points. So you want to keep your PlayStation Vita with you at all times, but sometimes you just want to hang out on a couch and play on the big screen. So Ruin will also have a PlayStation 3 SKU that will work seamlessly with the PlayStation Vita version. So, we just saved Ruin to the cloud and resume on the PC, PS3. So to show you how this works, Jeff is going to save his progress, go over to his PS3, and pick up exactly where we left off. So to recap, Ruin is an impactful combat RPG. You forge strong bonds of friendship and rivalry with other players, and you can take this game with you wherever you go, including your living room. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. As we have just seen, PlayStation Vita allows you to continue your gaming experiences on the go or at home, on the big screen, or on the gorgeous OLED screen. Cloud-based saves for instant action on PS3 is a truly unique feature that you can only get on PlayStation. Next to join us on stage is Eric Wass, one of our PD directors in San Diego, to talk about another unique experience for PlayStation Vita. One that is from a well-known IP that we had on this stage 2 years ago, Mod Nation Racers. So take it away, Eric and Brandon.
Thank you, Scott. I'd like to take you all through Mod Nation Racers for PlayStation Vita. This is an entirely new Mod Nation experience. It is not a port of Mod Nation PS3. It is not a port of Mod Nation PSP. It's entirely new and developed specifically for PlayStation Vita's unique feature set. Now, during our E3 press conference in 2009, we showed you how to create a fun and beautiful track in just a few minutes. Well, today, we're going to show you how to do it in a much less time using the PlayStation Vita and the talent of Brandon's finger. So, we're going to go ahead and enter draw mode here. And what you're going to see is Brandon's going to touch the front touch panel and instantly just make a spline wherever he wants, however he wants. And we're done. It's that simple. And you can have a lot of fun doing this for days. I've done it for an entire day myself, literally. I shouldn't say it was Scott Roddy right here. But the next thing we're going to show for the specific to the PlayStation Vita here is the editor. And Brandon can just move this around and touch the front touch panel wherever he wants and edit the spline. And since we were making a power track here, we need to make a turn. So Brandon's using copy mode now and moving it to around the turn. Let's make a jump, Brandon, because you always want to jump on a power track. You see he just touches the screen, manipulates the spline however he wants. It's fun, it's intuitive. But I want to really talk about the back touch panel now because you have this terrain mode where you can just make mountains and lakes out of using both the touch panels. So Brandon's using multiple touch points and touching that back touch panel. And the more he touches it, the higher the mountains get. He can make them wherever he wants. And you see it's nice and easy. You see an icon where your fingers are touching, and it's very intuitive. Additionally, you can touch the front touch panel, and you're going to press the land and make a nice alpine lake. So this track looks like it's formed relatively nicely, but let's go ahead and add a few paint brushes to it. So go ahead and use the tree brush since we're on an alpine theme here. And you see where Brandon touches the front touch panel again, instantly trees are created. It's that simple, you just put them where you want them to. And let's make an alpine village. Go ahead and, make some, there we go. So you see you can just have a lot of fun just pressing up the track however you want. One last thing we want to show you before playing this is the lighting source. So with the power of the PlayStation Vita, it's easy to manipulate the lighting, so Brandon can just move it up, daylight, sunset, any mood lighting setting he wants. So he's going to go ahead and start racing the track, and you're going to see as he races the track all the creations and edits that Brandon has made. So as he gets started here, And we're off. You're going to see the bank turn that Brandon had made early on. You're going to see the mountains he created off to the right. You'll see the lake to the left. And it's all just real time based on what he did. Now he's got to jump here. And using the right analog stick on the PlayStation Vita, Brandon's going to go ahead and do a trick. Nicely done there. And you can just go back and forth, edit it all you want. So we have a ton of great features that we're going to be showing you. We have a ton of great features that we're going to be sharing with you in the months to come. But before we go, I want to leave you with this. Owners of Nation Racers on the PlayStation Vita will have access to the over 2 million creations of tracks, mods, and cars that have been created by our Nation PS3 community, all available on PlayStation Vita day one. And to show an example of this, here at the arcade and at the E3 booth in the days to come, we have one of the currently top-rated tracks, not the top, but it's up there, rated tracks from our PlayStation 3 community, and you'll be able to enjoy it on PlayStation Vita. So I'll invite you to check it out. Thank you.
Thanks, Eric and Brandon. We are very proud to show that cross-platform interaction is functioning in many different ways this early in development on the PlayStation Vita. Even though I don't have time to show you everything I'd like to on the stage here tonight, I'd like to point out that PlayStation Vita titles will have many different types of cross-platform functionality with the PS3. For example, Wipeout 2048 will have a unique feature called crossplay, allowing up to 8 players to compete against each other online using either the PlayStation Vita or the PlayStation 3. This title will be available at launch, and we'll be showing the cross-play functionality here in the arcade tonight. So that's 3 great ways to connect your PlayStation Vita to your PlayStation 3. Cloud saves, online competition between portable and home consoles, and content sharing. And speaking of content sharing, user-generated content and the idea of play, create, share are unique to PlayStation and an innovation we're very proud of. Little Big Planet is the franchise that started this concept. And since it launched in 2008, it has gone on to make developers out of millions of creative consumers around the world. On the PlayStation Vita, Little Big Planet will revolutionize portable gaming by taking advantage of all the great technological innovations that Kaz was talking about earlier. So let's take a look and you can see what I mean. The Little Big Planet toolbox has been expanded to take full advantage of the PlayStation Vita platform and all the features of the hardware, including dual touchscreens, motion sensing, and the 2 cameras. With Little Big Planet on PlayStation Vita, the creative opportunities are endless. I'm also happy to add that it will be playable here in the arcade and in our booth this week. As you can imagine, we've had a ton of interest in the PlayStation Vita from our publishing partners. And to show you an example of just one of these titles in the works, please welcome our friends from Capcom to talk about Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
聞いているだろう、ジン。お前が愛さなっているのはこの男か。
You doing okay so far? Okay.
昨年、我々カプコンは、ストリートファイタークロス鉄拳を開発することをですね、皆さんに、お伝えしました。
I'm sure most of you are aware of the Street Fighter Cross Tekken project, which we announced for development last year.
そして今日、皆さんに新しいニュースを持ってきました。
I'm here today to give you the latest info on this game.
今日はですね、ついにプレイステーションビータでストリートファイタークロス鉄拳が開発が始まったことをまず皆さんにお知らせします。
Today's announcement is that we have also decided to move forward with the PlayStation Vita version of Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
そしてですね、もう一つ今日は皆さんにお知らせしたいことがあります。インファマスシリーズのコールがこのストリートファイタークロス鉄拳に参戦します。
We're also happy to announce that in collaboration with Sucker Punch, Cole from Infamous, the fighters of Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
このコールがストリートファイタークロス鉄拳の中でどのように動いているかっていうのを皆さん見たいと思いませんか？
Well, since we're all here, why don't we check out what kind of damage Cole does in the game?
今日は最新のビルドをプレイステーションビータで持ってきました。
Here's the latest version of the game running in real time.
それではちょっと見てもらいましょう。
Please take a look. We feel that Cole's unique electrical moves and flying attacks will fit nicely into our game. Simple command inputs can be carried out by using the touch panel feature of the PlayStation Vita, which enables a wider audience to experience Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
ちょっとやられてばっかりですか？
Not doing so well.
はい、このような形でですね、今、開発が進んでいってます。
So you have a good idea here of just how development is going. And,
今皆さんに見ていただいた形でですね、プレイステーションビータ上での開発が今、着々とですね、開発を進めています。
So as you can see, we already have the game up and running on the PlayStation Vita.
まだですね、皆さんにこれを触ってもらえる機会まではもう少しだけ時間をください。
It won't be long before you're able to play the game for yourself and get a feel for what it's like.
ただ、プレイステーション3版、こちらの方は E3 の会場でですね、ソニーさんのブース、そしてカプコンのブースでですね、展示してあります。ぜひ皆さん手に取って、触って感じてみてください。
And of course, the PS3 version is here at E3. for you to enjoy at both the Sony booth and at Capcom's booth. Please check it out when you have a chance.
Thank you very much for coming today. Thank you.
Thank you very much to all of our developers and partners on stage today, showing off some amazing content for PlayStation Vita. This is just a sample of what's coming for PlayStation Vita. In all, there are more than 80 titles in development from just about every publisher and developer, including EA, Ubisoft, Capcom, THQ, and Activision. Before Kaz comes back on stage, I want to leave you with this brief video to show you some incredible upcoming content on PlayStation Vita. Thanks.
Temple of Serpents.
Thank you, Scott. That is some truly amazing content. And best of all, virtually every publisher has signed up for making great content for PlayStation Vita. And I'm pleased to announce that this entire package of all these incredible features will be available starting from the holiday season this year. And, as I mentioned, there will be two models available at launch, a Wi-Fi only model and a 3G Wi-Fi model. And I'm happy to announce that the Wi-Fi only model will retail for $249. €249 and 24,980 yen. And the 3G Wi-Fi model will retail for $299. €299 and 29,980 yen. PlayStation Vita will revolutionize the portable entertainment experience. It takes the best technology from a gorgeous OLED screen to the front and rear touchpads and marry them with the PlayStation Network and the industry's best games and services. PlayStation Vita gives you the most completely entertainment package in the palm of your hands and the power to interact with the world around you. It is an experience you really need to see and feel to believe. With PlayStation Vita, the whole world is really in play. So I encourage all of you to come down and experience PlayStation Vita in the arcade a little later tonight, as well as at our booth all this week. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time.
Great news on Vita, but I can't believe Cos made fun of my tie. I was tempted to bust out that Ridge Racer line, but I like that. So as you can see, the depth and breadth of content coming to PlayStation is stronger than it's ever been. For all our grand history, we're on the verge today of a future like any of the previous 16 years. By adding experiences like 3D, PlayStation Move, the Sharpshooter, and the exclusive content from the industry's best developers, and bundling them with the additional services of the PlayStation Network, we offer the best entertainment solution available. In addition, with PlayStation Vita around the corner and the amazing titles and services we're lining up for its launch, consumers will get an unparalleled experience from